This is Jason with Rogue Banshee, and a week ago I did a video showing you how to free float an AR. But now I want to show you the tools that I used. Now this is the Armorer's Master Kit Pro. Now there's an Armorer's Master Kit that Real Avid had before. But my friends at Real Avid, they came out with the Pro Kit. Now there's a couple of differences. This one has a clicker torque wrench and the crow's feet, where the other one didn't have that clicker wrench. It had like a hatchet instead of these crow's feet, and one of the torque bars that just kind of gauge how your torque is doing. Now this is the upgraded kit. This has a wrench, goes up to 150 foot-pounds. Not that you will go that high, but it's there. And then these crow's feet, these are for different muzzle devices, barrel nuts, stock options, things like that. So that way you can torque just about anything you need. Now the one thing that this kit's missing here is a ratchet. I was always taught not to use your torque wrench to loosen. Always use a ratchet to loosen. So I'd like to see a ratchet into a kit. The other thing is that you're not going to use a torque wrench when you're putting a muzzle device on. You're using one of these crow's feet to do a muzzle device, because we're not really worried about torque. We're worried about alignment, having that thing timed correctly. So I'd really like to see just a ratchet in here, just for those purposes. Now we have a front pivot pin tool and, well, a hammer. So this hammer has the steel and rubber. Over here you also have plastic and brass. So that way you're set for just about anything that you're going to be punching with. Now over here we have the master bench block. This thing has its pluses and minuses, but the minuses aren't all that bad, and the pluses are definitely awesome. So you can work on an upper, a lower, you can take the pins out of your charging handle, you can disassemble your bolt, you can even take the front sight off of an AR with the front sight tower, which I showed you last week in that video. You put your upper in here, your barrel's going to be facing this way. This is the minus, is that they should have given me some wording here telling me that's the way to lay that upper so I can remove those pins, because those pins only come out one way. So I just wrote the word out. So that way I know if the barrel's over here, I can drive those pins out. Now the greatest thing about this is it also tells you what your punches you're going to use. Like right here, these two would be 1/8 inch punches. The roll pin for the gas tube was 5/64. So I know automatically what punches I need. The other thing is on the bottom, there's pin storage right here. So you can put your pins in there. That way they're not rolling around your bench. And the other thing is this is magnetic. So when the pins fall down, they roll, they'll get stuck to the magnet for you. Honestly, the biggest problem I have with this thing is it does so much that I gotta keep pulling the instructions out to remember which way to lay something. Again, that's not a bad problem to have. Now right here we have the Vise block. Now one thing that has always driven me nuts about working on ARs is my Vise block. My AR kind of wobbles. They've solved that with their Vise block. You twist this and this starts expanding, so that way the AR stops wobbling around, and of course go the other way, loosens it up. Now I've had this in my 4-inch vise, and I've also had it in, right there, the Real Avid Master Vise. Works either way. We have our punches, and I'm going to just pull this punch out. This is a roll pin punch for doing your bolt catch. Now, one of the problems with bolt catches is, well, marking up the lower. I kind of solved that with this punch. Now this punch is cut out here, so that way it will go around your lower, and then you can hit right back here. That way your chances of marking up your lower are way lower. Now I have the holder punch here. There's also a roll pin punch. I have other punches here. A staking tool. I haven't seen a staking tool in an AR kit in a while. And then all my regular punches here. And then you get these tweezers. And I wasn't sure about these tweezers. I like holder punches. And then Real Avid's decision was to give you a pair of tweezers. And I wasn't really sure about this, but it's growing on me. One of the weaknesses of a holder punch is gravity. You know, it's real fine when you're going in through the side, but if you got to go down, and especially like, you know, working on that front sight, the pin will fall right out. But with this, since you can put that in there and then it clicks and holds it together, I'm not worried about gravity. And then I was wondering, okay, well now I need a third hand, but no, you don't. What I found is that I take my hand right there, I'm going to hold my punch and start driving that pin in. Real easy, real simple solution to a common problem. Now we also have the obligatory handguard removal tool. Now these things, they're real simple. They did a different spin with theirs, is that they've got some notches here. So that way, when you have your hand on there, it just, you know that you're in the right spot because it just fits. Now the problem I have with these handguard tools, and it doesn't matter whose handguard tool it is, you know, they've got this paint on here. It's not bad. You know, it kind of keeps you from marking up that ring. What I always do is I go out to an auto parts store and I get some gas line, some rubber gas line, and then I line my tool there. So that way, when I clamp on, I don't have a chance of marking that ring up. Plus I get a little extra grip on that ring when I'm pulling it back. And the final thing is this Lug-Lok. I started off in clamshells. I worked up to like that fake lower receiver where you can just put your upper on and then use the pinholes. The problem I always had with that was I was always worried about putting torque on the pins and egging those holes out. I love these Lug-Loks. This goes in the back of the receiver, locks into the lugs of the barrel. That way when I'm torquing, I'm putting the torque on the lugs instead of on the upper. Really awesome concept. Now they have this thing on the back. So let's just say my upper is upside down. Slide it in, put this on here, and it keeps it from pulling off. So it keeps that engagement. Now these pins here can go in here if you have the Real Avid Vise, and then you can get a positive lock, so that way you don't have that tipping. Otherwise, you can just clamp right on with like my 4-inch, or if you have a 6-inch, or whatever vise you have, you still use this. The advantage of this thing is you can see there's holes every 90 degrees. So let's say I want to work on the forward assist. Well, I have my upper facing this way, and my forward assist is coming out here. I can always take this off, rotate, slide in, and then put that on, and now my forward assist is facing up. Really, really cool concept. If you have a left-handed AR, maybe you want to work on the left side where the ejection port is. Slide that over. You're good to go. Really, really great, great tool. Love this. I need one for 308s. That's the overview of the Real Avid Armorer's Master Kit Pro. What do you think? I really love the crow's foot. I love the other tools in here. This is an absolutely amazing kit. Let's hear you in the comments down below, because this thing just keeps on giving. We've been through the tools, but this case is not your cheap blow mold case. There's metal latches right here, not plastic, metal. And for the gift that keeps on giving, you get top 18 mods for every AR-15 owner should master. It's a great book. It talks about things like torquing your barrel. If you've never torqued a barrel, it talks about it in here. It talks about a bunch of other things. You can buy this on its own, but if you buy this kit, it comes free with the kit. Thanks for watching. Hope you're staying safe out there. I look forward to seeing you again soon.